later. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency news. I am George. If you guys aren't aware, I have these streams on Friday now, right at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and this is going to be my usual time. So, unless you guys haven't been watching my normal videos, I've been telling you guys that. And those of you guys are new, welcome. So, today I want to share a lot with you guys. The big story is this massive liquidity that's about to hit Bitcoin. But there's a few other news I want to cover and give you a little update on some of my future plans. Some of my other channels that I want to discuss with you guys. And one of them relates to this one. So I'm going to see how it is. But thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, because it is Friday, let's keep it loose. Let's keep it lively. And I promise not to go too long because some of you guys always complain, oh, your live sessions are too long. So maybe I'll just keep it a little bit shorter. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I apologize for how this stream started. All right, let's get started. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's 11,668, so a little bit lower than yesterday, 100 points. Overall, we're above 11,000. There's nothing to be complaining about. We went as high as 11,900 not too long ago. You could see right here. And then, actually, that was the second time we hit it, right? So that seems to be the new resistance right now. So 12,000, obviously we did go to 12,200 once before, but now it seems like this 11,900 is now the new resistance that BTC needs to break before it could test 12,000. So let me draw that. So then we have that marked. So right here, right? So that is the point that BTC is facing. But you know, honestly, at this point, there is really nothing bad you could say about BTC. I am not worried. I don't think any of you guys are worried because there's really nothing to be worried about. BTC is in a very good position. And it's one of those cases we just simply wait and hold and wait. That's pretty much all there is to it. There's a lot of things coming to. There's a lot of liquidity, let's say, that's coming, and it's not only going to help the financial markets, but it's going to help stores of value such as gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And I've been talking about that throughout this week. And I think there's a lot more of it to come. So the title for today is Massive Liquidity to Hit Bitcoin, right? And I found this article to be pretty interesting. And it's from a veteran investor. And he's talking about something that I don't think a lot of people is looking at. He's looking at the M2, which is the money supply. And he's looking at this chart, which tracks the money supply coming in from the Treasury and looking at the S&P index. So if you look at this, you could see how the two almost mirrors each other, right? And it kind of makes sense. The money that's flowing in, it's being used, and you know what? It makes sense that they kind of correlate, not 100%, but you could see how it's very, very, very similar. Including right here, May 20th, this was May, 19th, there's a big bump, May 20th, right? So there's a money supply and then it's tracking it, right? So according to this analyst or investor, they're looking at, well, for the remainder of 2020, the money supply is going to get a little low, right? But then in 2021, that's when you get another influx of money. It's going to be so much liquidity that's coming in 2021. He argues that investors won't even know what to do with that money. There's so much that's going to be coming in. And guess what? It's going to help pretty much everything, including the financial market, the stock markets, and gold, silver, and Bitcoin. That's what he argues. We're talking about trillions of dollars. Of course, this is relating to what the feds are still discussing and planning on in terms of a second relief package with more trillions being given out, right? That's still being discussed. It still has to finalize. So it's probably going to hit at the end of the year, going into 2021, and this is what he's talking about. And I think this makes a lot of sense. I mean, look at where the market is right now, right? Despite the fact we've been COVID lockdown, quarantine, businesses are still shut down. Some industries are totally devastated, and millions upon millions of people that are still unemployed. Look at the stock market. It's still rallying, and NASDAQ is at an all-time high. And you could argue, look at gold, which is at above 2,000. Bitcoin is climbing up towards 12,000. Yeah, the liquidity does make a difference, right? There is still money flowing in. And according to this, there's going to be so much of it in 2021 that it's definitely going to make an impact on Bitcoin, which makes sense. And guess what? 2021 is the last year of the 4-year cycle, right? That's something that I've been talking about for the last 3 years now, since we declined in 2017 and 2018 when things started falling. You know, we've been looking forward to the end of the 4-year cycle. You know, the first 2.5 years is usually the worst, and that's 2018 or 2017, 2018, and then 2019 is when we start recovering, not all the way. 2020, we recover more now. But 2021 is the last year. That's when things get really crazy, right? So this all coincides, and that's pretty positive, right? Pretty positive. And just realize I'm using a new camera, and it's a lot more zoomed in. So hopefully you guys don't get scared by my giant face. I can always try to zoom out if this bothers you guys. Okay, I should not sit too close to the computer. Anyway, so I think this is something that I think is really important, right? Money, liquidity coming in. You need money to come in. If you're just trading between Bitcoin, altcoins, whatever, and back and forth, nothing's really going up. Everyone's staying the same, right? You need to have massive liquidity come in, and I think 2021 we're going to see a lot more of it, and we're going to see a lot of things start moving. But the remainder of this year, what's going on? Well, the biggest investment group for crypto, Grayscale, they're saying, you know what? Get ready, because we're about to kick off our national ad campaign, and it's going to go on all the business channels, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business, and this this misspelling is not accidental. I think that's supposed to represent like printing of money, like that. That was a horrible sound. Yeah, that was horrible sound impersonation by me. But anyways, yeah. So Grayscale, we know for the last 2 quarters they've been buying Bitcoin up like it's candy or something. They're just picking up like crazy. We're talking about billions upon billions of dollars of Bitcoin, more Bitcoin than the miners are mining. So that has a lot to do with it. Now, why are they buying so much? They're stockpiling for themselves, and also because they have Bitcoin Trust, which institutional investors are buying. And for the first time, we're actually seeing who is actually buying these Grayscale Bitcoin Trusts. It's actually broken out with the top 20 institutional investors. Kind of interesting. So this is the breakout. So ARK Investment Management, they have over 4 billion under, I think that's billion. Yes, 4.4 billion under management. And they have, this is not 20,000 Bitcoin, this is millions, right? So they have $20 million worth of GBDC with this trust. And then the next one is another ARK one, 17 million, 15 million, 14 million, 9, 4, and it goes on and on, and then down to this company, which has 2 million out of their 282. So if you look at it, right, they have it, but it's still a tiny amount. They're utilizing it as a hedge or as a lottery ticket. So in this case of this company at 282 million, they have 2 million in Bitcoin. Wait, is that 2 million? No, that's only 22,000. Sorry. So I was going to say theirs is like around 1%, but for them it's much less than 1%. Because you know how a lot of these famous and wealthy investors, they're talking about putting 1 to 2% of their investments into Bitcoin. So unfortunately, not there yet. Not there yet, but it's nice to see this break up. This is the first time I think I've seen Grayscale actually break up, the top 20 investors that are buying GBTC. Nothing that I've heard of before. Oh no, I take that back. Look at that. Rothschild Investment Corp. So Rothschild, some of you guys may know, there's a lot of conspiracies about what they're doing behind the scenes, and they were once upon a time the richest family in the world, and they still might be. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. But anyways, Rothschild Investment Group actually owns some BTC. That's actually pretty interesting. I missed that the first time around. I was looking through this. I'm like, do I recognize any of these companies? No, but I recognize that name. That's interesting. So, all right. But anyways, Grayscale is doing their thing. They're going to be kicking off this national ad campaign. And this is during a time when sports is finally coming back. But people are paying attention, in my opinion, on TV right now since there's no new shows. They're looking at sports and they're looking at business, right? What's going on with their money. And I think this will probably get a good amount of viewers. And seeing how Bitcoin and crypto is hot again, right? This could cause some needed FOMO and again, bring massive liquidity to the market. So I think this is good. Very, very positive here. Pedro, I haven't seen you in a long time. I think our last conversation didn't go so well, but I'm glad to see you back. But you probably know I was off YouTube for 3+ months, so still trying to get back to rhythm. I'm seeing 320 people watching today. That's a high compared to my last two, because I know when I got my channel back, notifications was not working on live streams. On normal videos, yes, live streams not so much, but maybe today is working, or maybe you guys been paying attention to my videos from earlier this week. But anyways, a lot of money coming into Bitcoin. This is on top of the fact that there's individual family offices, hedge fund managers, just wealthy investors. They've been looking at Bitcoin. They've been putting money into it for a while now as a hedge against inflation, which we know is coming. So this is on top of that, and you know what? It's very good. It's very good, guys, right now. You know what? I forgot to bring up the fear and greed index, which I want to do right now. I want to see where it is today. It is still at extreme greed. Yesterday was a little bit higher at 79 extreme greed. Today is a little bit lower, 77. But this is how you can tell. The sentiment right now is people are feeling greedy. People are feeling good. People are feeling kind of the same way I am. Like, what's to bring Bitcoin down at this point, right? You could have massive whales just all of a sudden liquidate, but why would they when things are getting good right now, right? Sure, there's going to be profit taking. We could have some swings, but overall, Bitcoin is on its way up. We're moving into 2021, and there's a lot of positive things to look for. So I'm not surprised by this anymore. But, it's just funny that last month, we were at 44. Last month, how things change so fast. Last month, everyone's still fearful. Bitcoin was still, hovering between 10,000, 9,000. We had a brief stint that back down to 8,500, but last month, a few months ago, people were still fearful. And now look at it, just 1 month afterwards, it's pretty good. Welcome everyone. A lot of people tuning in. I'll talk about Elrond during Q&A if you want to ask me, but a lot of these altcoins are certainly doing well. I've been talking about Elrond, and I even mentioned in my insider group earlier this week about how it looked like it was ready to make its next leg up, and it looks like it is starting to. So they're very promising. All right, moving on. This is also very interesting. Second largest Bitcoin whale in existence moves a staggering $1.1 billion in BTC. Now, I'm not even going to speculate why this was done, but basically you have about 90 97,000 Bitcoin, not $97,000, 97,000 Bitcoin was divided into two wallets. One wallet with 92,857 and another one to 4,000. The why this split, I don't know. Maybe they want to cash out 4,000 Bitcoins, right? Because if you're a billionaire, you've been sitting on that money for a while, maybe you want to spend some of it now, right? 4,000 Bitcoin is a lot of money. But people are just wondering what's going on. So this was safeguarded by Xapo in their custody. And I didn't know how secure Xapo custody was. So look at this. Xapo owns off-the-grid bunkers that store BTC on 5 continents, including the Swiss Alps. A report from Bloomberg found that clients must wait 2 days to retrieve their Bitcoin while Xapo verifies their identity and manually signs the transaction. So if you are a Bitcoin billionaire or a multimillionaire, I mean, I would say you want to secure with Xapo, right? That sounds like top of the line stuff. Like, basically, it is safeguard. You're not going to get hacked. But Coinbase custody did acquire Xapo. So according to this article, people are wondering if, you know what, maybe Coinbase just decided to split up just to be safer. Maybe it's just Coinbase themselves doing something with it. So who knows? But that's a lot. That's a lot of BTC being moved. And here's the kicker. $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin were moved between wallets, and the total cost was $3.55. $3.55 to move $1 billion. Tell me what other service can move $1 billion and it only costs $3.55. Try to do a wire transfer of $1.1 billion. Try to send money through PayPal of $1.1 billion and see how much it costs. It just doesn't happen. So people complain about, costs to send Bitcoin, transaction fee is so high, you can't buy coffee with it, whatever. Okay, I get it in very, very, very low amounts, right? So if you're trying to buy a $4 coffee and it costs you $1 in transaction fee, I get it. That sucks. But if you move $1 billion and it only costs you $3.55, that's amazing. There's no other service on earth that can do that. That's really, really amazing. All right, moving cash in a souk. I guess so, but it's probably gonna cost you more than $3.55 in gas to get you from point A to point B, right? Unless you're just giving it to your neighbor. But outside of that, this is gonna be the cheapest. So that's interesting. For you Vechain fans, Vechain makes another huge partnership. Vechain is just on top of the world, okay? Every single partner they make or partnership they make is legit. And not only are they legit, they're like the biggest companies in the world. You know those pastas, those frozen dried pastas that you find in a supermarket, the Checo, I think that's how you pronounce this. They're one of the largest in the world. In fact, they're third largest pasta manufacturer in the world. And now they're going to be using this MyCare product from DNVGL. And guess who powers that? Vechain. Vechain does, right? So it's like, seriously, every single big company that's involved somehow with supply chain because they either have to ship or they have to receive or they're doing something with supply chain, Vechain is involved. So this is another big partnership. Obviously, Vechain has been moving up pretty good. Not as good as it should, but Vechain is going to be a top 10 eventually. It's going to get up there once people realize this. And once China goes full-blown crypto, Vechain is going to be on top of the world. So here's another big, big partnership from Vechain. All right, what else is there? Well, this is kind of like a sad story, and I don't know if this is real or not, but I've heard stories like this before, right? So some of you guys I think this is natural, like me. You know, you always regret what you didn't have or didn't do or didn't, I guess, potential gains, okay? So one of the things, about second guessing yourself is some of you guys like to swing trade or day trade, and you're like, oh, you know what? Had I held it a little bit longer, I could have made this. Or had I just left it in there, I could have made this, right? We all tend to focus on the negative. So a lot of us don't focus the fact that we still made money. We're still up, right? Even though we're down a little bit, we're still up for the most part. Or we're still up on this coin or whatever, right? So again, I don't know if this is true, but if it is, it sucks. So this story talks about a guy who bought a small amount of Bitcoin for $5,000. And obviously this was very early on. Later on, he realized that had he kept it, it would have been worth $57 million. But he didn't keep it because he basically tried to get his family to get involved and no one listened to him. And you know what? He was basically, I don't know, he thought it was a mistake or something and he sold it. And then this guy basically took his own life afterwards. I should not laugh. That's not funny if this is true. I don't know if this is true. This could be made up. But I think the point of this story is a lot of people always focus on the negatives, right? In any kind of investment or even just life experiences, you always hold on. You always have regrets and stuff like that. The better thing to do is just focus on the positives. Focus on what you have. You have health. You have made money on crypto. You have investments. You have a nice family, whatever. Focus on that because that's important. What? The mailman may want me to sign something. Nope, she just left it. Never mind. Sometimes I only missed the lotto by 6 numbers. Well, that means focus on a positive. I think you still have money to buy another lottery ticket, right? You can still always try again. But anyways, yeah. So that's just I just want to share this because this is an important lesson. I think this is natural. All of us have regrets, but the best is to focus on what we have, the positives, right? All right, that's all the articles I wanted to cover. So I think there's a lot of liquidity that's coming into Bitcoin. There's a lot of good things about Bitcoin. I actually created a video. Some of you guys have been watching. Some of you guys have not, but yeah, my channel shows up again. But I've been also giving tidbits in my daily videos, right? Like Square had a blowout quarter and it's due to Bitcoin. I don't think a lot of you guys just look at this title and you're like, oh, it's just Square. What's the big deal? No, because Square had a blowout quarter because the Cash App had almost $900 million in revenue of Bitcoin trading. That is huge. That pushed them up, and analysts were actually forecasting that Square was going to have a negative quarter. In fact, they blew expectations because of Bitcoin. That kind of shows you how significant it is. And Cash App is definitely, and Square, Jack Dorsey's, bring more attention to the space. And because of this blowout quarter, guess what's happening? PayPal, Venmo, and everyone else is like, we need to get involved. And we need to accelerate our plans. And you know what? Let's go just get more adoption going, more awareness going. So things are looking good. Things are looking good. Another one, this one earlier in the week, stock to flow, and even Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan was talking about Cash App and Bitcoin. Stock to flow is right on track. I mean, everything is like pointing in the right direction and pointing in one direction, and that one direction is up. So it's definitely a very good time. All right, so there's a couple things I want to announce before I get to Q&A. Number one, I'm going to try to talk less of it in Q&A because of it. I do have a basketball channel now. I've been talking to you guys about how I love basketball cards, right? So I did start a channel. I kind of told you guys last week, didn't really kick things off, but now I do have a few videos on there with my friend Joel. So if you guys are into basketball and basketball cards, later on we're not just going to be only talking about basketball cards. It's going to be sports cards in general, but right now it's basketball because I like it. It's called New Era Wax. It's supposed to be New Era of Wax. Wax meaning packs, like wax packs and so forth. If you guys are into basketball or basketball cards, follow me on here. I rebranded one of my old channels, so that's why I have 1.3K subscribers, but views are still very low. If you guys are interested, definitely check it out. If you want to ask me about cards, which some of you guys do, but it kind of pisses off crypto people here, so I don't know why. But if you want me to ask questions, then ask me questions on there, okay? So that's number one. Number two is, and this is the experiment, and I'm just going to warn you ahead of time, I may not continue, because it really depends on what happens with this channel, okay? So what I did was I started another channel, and I called it Bitcoin George. Because I'm realizing, and I've said this before, there are certain channels that has the favor of YouTube's algorithm and some that don't. And ever since I got this channel back, you know, it's just I still get notifications or comments from people like, I didn't get notified, I didn't get this and that. Notification's still off. And it just seems like, you know, my views are always stuck in a rut. And it could just be because a lot of people stop tuning in. But I still want to make sure that it's not just with my channel, because there are other channels that face the same thing where it doesn't matter what they do, they don't have the favorite algorithm and they can never grow. In fact, some big guys I just checked out just out of the blue, some of you guys may know Crypto Bobby, his channel just died and he basically quit because of it. And it's the same thing, he just lost the favor of YouTube algorithm and you just can't grow from there. So here's my experiment. I'm starting this channel with only 8 subscribers. I'm going to start uploading videos to this as well. My daily videos. I'm not going to stream on it, but my daily videos, I'm going to put on there as well. So I encourage you guys to also follow me on here and also watch these videos. And I want to see how this channel grows, because this is a brand new channel. So it doesn't have the algorithm doesn't really know anything about this channel right now, right? So I want to see if this one somehow grows faster or even grows at all versus my CryptosRUs channel, right? So right now, the channel URL is really hard to remember and you can't even search for Bitcoin George. It doesn't even come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this URL, I'm going to pin it to the first comment of this video. So those of you guys that support me, please subscribe and start watching the videos I put on there as well, because I want to do a comparison. This is going to be my experiment in terms of, will a new channel actually grow faster than my existing channel because of all the algorithm stuff that's really hard to I guess change. There are a lot of channels that die because of it, and there's a lot of channels that thrive because they're in favor of it. So that's another thing I wanted to announce to you guys. It's an experiment. If it doesn't go anywhere, I'm just going to shut it down. But right now, I would love for you guys to participate. All right. So that's it. Now I could do Q&A with you guys. And while I'm talking, I'm going to pin that channel to the comments so that you guys can look at it and subscribe if I could get there. There we go. All right, pin. There's a good turnout today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. 360 people watching. Definitely a good turnout. I know live streams don't do as well, but some people exclusively do live streams and they're still okay. But my normal videos, you know, some of them are good stuff. Maybe because some of you guys just don't like it, but if you haven't watched my daily videos, especially from this week, I've changed it. It's a lot more lively, I could say, less scripty, which some people always complain about, but I focus on specific topics, made it very short, so it's to the point, and I think they're pretty good info if I say so myself. But if you guys haven't watched it, check it out. XRP will never be alive 40 cents tops. I don't know, man. It was like 32 cents not too long ago. Travel the world since you just got in. I started a new experimental channel. Okay, well, there's two. I have a card channel, basketball card, sports card channel called New Era Wax. And then I started another channel called Crypto George. So it's an experimental channel. I want to see if I can grow that and get the favor of the algorithm, because right now it seems like CryptosRUs does not have that favor. I'm still working very hard to try to change it, but we'll see. That's why I have the other channel. Follow me on there, watch my videos, and I want to see if I can grow it. I have looked into Ocean Protocol. They're an old project, my friend. Unless this is a brand new one that's also called Ocean. Helps developers build marketplaces and other apps to privately secure, publish, exchange, and consume data. I can't tell if this is the old Ocean that rebranded. They were involved with I think it was storage. I don't know, or this could be a brand new crypto. Where are the other Oceans? No, I think it is them. It has to be them. They rebranded themselves. Okay. Sorry, I haven't kept up with Ocean or this one, if this is new or not, so I can't really speak on it. But let's see, collaborators, enterprise partners. I haven't. Daimler. I've heard of Daimler for Southeast Asia. Hey Sam, welcome and thank you. Yeah, Super Chat wasn't working, and then I had to fix it. So when I got this channel back, it's like everything was just kind of screwed up. It was just like up in the air. Daimler Southeast Asia. Okay, interesting. Dex. Never heard of Dex. Fright. Moby. Okay, interesting. I'll look into them. I like, you know, there's something about like a vibe of a project, a vibe of like a website. Sometimes it's just like, it feels right and sometimes it doesn't. Ocean, actually looking at this, feels right. So I'll take a look. I can't really speak on it right now since I know nothing about the project. Can you put something in your new channel intro to say how long you've been in this crypto space? Yeah, I'll do that. I guess it's true, right? I mean, some of you guys know me from 2017, but new people probably don't know me. It's like, who the hell is this guy? So I can mention it. Has there been any big updates with nulls? Not that I'm aware of. They're still executing. I still hold some nulls. A lot of people do. People that support nulls really are just staking it, right? And you could utilize their new staking algorithm. Hey guys, James and David, thank you, appreciate it. And you can stake basically and get tokens of these new projects that's coming onto nulls. That's very positive. And plus, you still keep your nulls and just hold it. I mean, nulls, not any huge development that I've seen, so, but I still support them. Matic, I'm surprised I'm not pumped more. I'm not surprised by Matic. I've said it before. Usually when people don't listen to their gut feelings when things are pumping, right? When Matic was being pumped, because somehow second layer solutions were hot, or IEOs were hot from Binance. Remember, Matic was pumping, Seller was pumping, a lot of these IEOs were pumping, but they're second layer solutions, right? And Ethereum doesn't want to work with any second layer solutions. They want to do their own thing. I know Matic evolved. They have their own stuff. They moved to dApps and a lot of other stuff. I think they may even be moving to DeFi because that's the hot thing. However, ultimately they started a second layer solution and not a lot of, I mean, Ethereum just doesn't work with any second layer solution, at least not officially. They just want to do their own thing. So that's why I've always said, you know what, until someone gets Ethereum's blessing, you know, I don't know how well they're going to do. So right now, the hot projects are either protocols, like Vechain, Cardano, you know, protocol coins, or DeFi. And what I still don't get, and I still think there's something off, and I'm not showing you guys because I want you guys to like get in on it, but I don't trust this, and that's Aave, okay? Aave, which used to be Ethland. They have been going on a tear, and now they're almost as big as MakerDAO. I don't trust this at all. They're in DeFi, they're into lending, but they consistently keep pumping up. I'm afraid this won't end well. For the amount of users, amount of people that's using it, there's no way it should be going up this high, this fast. So I'm just warning you guys, right? So it's kind of like anything else that pumps up. People tend to ignore their heart or advice when things just keep skyrocketing, right? But I don't know if Aave is going to sit up here long term. So just want to point that out. Now, ERD, Elrond, has been doing well too. It's one of those coins that has been up and up and up. And you can see let's just do last month. You know, pretty consistent. Some up and downs, but pretty consistent up. If you go 3 months, it's even crazier. Now, I started talking about Elrond about 2-3 weeks ago. Really started covering it in my insider program and Patreon. But the thing about Elrond is it's a protocol, and I think they're live. They were about to go live any day now. Yes, they went live with their mainnet. But that's not why I was excited about them. Because there's a ton of protocol coins out there. There's a million of them out there. And only the big ones really, you know, have any traction. Now, Elrond, I think, can do well because of one simple fact. The creators of Elrond, although young and doesn't really have any business experience, they made some money with Bitcoin and NEM back in the day. So they started an investment company. And guess who was the first company they invested in? Can you guess? No? No one could guess? I mentioned this before. The first company they invested in is Binance. They invested in Binance when Binance was a nobody. Right? So, now obviously, they made a ton of money from Binance, and they also went on and invested in Tezos and BAT, which have done really well too. But the main thing is, it's like scratch your back, scratch my back, right? So of course, it's no surprise when the founders now started Elrond. Guess what? They were IEO on Binance, and guess what? This new protocol already supports Binance Coin. So, you know, they're basically part owners of Binance. So they're going to basically force Binance to make them successful. I just don't see how Binance cannot be an integral part of their future when the founders are part owners of Binance. I think that is very important. No other company could say that. People could say they have partnerships, but who could say they're actually founders or part founders of Binance? No one. Except Elrond. So that's why I like Elrond. That's why I think they're not going to go away. They're going to have up and downs, and they've been pumping up like crazy. They're $317 million. But if you look at the technology, it's also very promising, right? They make a lot of promises. They're doing what Ethereum 2.0 is trying to do, okay? They have scaling through sharding. They have a better form of governance. They're already doing delegated proof of stake. So they seem like they're already out, and this is what Ethereum is trying to move to. So they're already ahead of the game. So from a technology standpoint, they look good, although it's not proven yet, but they just launched their mainnet. But from a back end, I guess, founder perspective, even though if you look at the founders and the team, they're relatively young, unproven. The fact that they're part owners of Binance, I can't let that go. I think that's go really carry them. So that's why I like Elron so much. ORN, what is Orion Protocol? Only 10 million. Well, right off the bat, what scares me is, and what should scare you too, is the fact that only 4 million of ORN tokens is circulating out of a total of 100 million. That's only 4%? Yeah, 4% of the total supply is out there. That in itself is a little scary. Now, I don't know why so little is being circulated, but yeah. So right off the bat, that's not a good sign. Second of all, exchange is okay. KuCoin, BitMax, heard of those before. The other ones, heard of, but not so reputable. One token, one protocol, 13 revenue streams, feel confident and safe, or protection never seen in crypto before. New tokens are never meant to be on TGE. While efforts are in place to strategically and frequently move tokens from circulating supply, only purchased tokens will be in circulation till the 16th month. Orion guarantees to return 80% of raised money back to DYCO participants through refunds if requested. Refunds create a price floor that provides organic liquidity and volume. Yeah, this is already confusing and doesn't sound right. Holding ORN would bring a range of benefits plus additional functionality that would add further value to users, incentivize them to hold, including discount trading, advanced features, protocol access, and staking returns, which everyone has. With 13 revenue streams. Okay, what are the 13 revenue streams? And I mean, right off the bat, I don't like what this is saying. Like, somehow you can, I don't know what a DYCO participant is. Maybe like a ICO. That is a new way to say ICO. And they guarantee 80% of the money could be refunded if requested. And the refunds create a price. That just seems like it's really confusing. How are they going to keep track of all that? Where's the 13? They mentioned 13 ways to create revenue. I mean, that sounds impressive, right? 13 revenue, that's like right in their mission statement. And right here, but why can't you just click into it and see what the 13 revenue streams is? You know, that's also kind of shady. Yeah, so I don't know. You know how I say, you know, you could get a certain vibe from a website? I'm not getting that vibe from Orion. Like, Ocean actually looked pretty promising. This one, I don't trust it at all. Now, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. This could be an awesome partnership. I mean, an awesome project. But right off the bat, yeah, I don't like it. Now, some of you guys have seen and made mentions about, oh, YouTube is showing like scam ads and stuff like that. I can't help that, okay? I know that it's very frustrating and YouTube is not doing anything about it. But YouTube right now is understaffed and they can't tell what's a real legit crypto channel and what's not because they're not really manually looking at things, which they should be. By now, they should have some employees back. But anyways, I can't control that. So it's not like I could choose which ads I show. If I could, I wouldn't be showing scam ads, okay? So just to let you guys know. DAI is just a stable coin, Carl. No. I stand corrected. Are you telling me to look at this because you only saw that it went up 141%? Because small, new, unknown coins can be pumped left and right. Yeah, it's only available on Uniswap right now. Sorry, I don't... It's too new for me. On these new, unknown alts, I try not to FOMO in. I try not to just say, oh, it's up 100% and it must be good. Because we know that's not the case. These can be pumped and dumped very easily. So I tend to wait it out. And some people think, that's too late. You know, it already jumped 1,000%. But that's how you kind of know if there's a community around it, if it can support itself, and that it's a legit project. Because a lot of these rise up, and then they dump, and then they're forever, forever gone. Thoughts on Theta as a project and using it yourself? I have not looked into Theta in terms of... Let's try it. If I could spell Theta. No. Theta crypto. Theta token. Is this the project? Where is their streaming platform? Theta TV. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Discover. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I can't stand and why YouTube is so dominant. Because when I was off YouTube, I was streaming on Twitch and DLive, which I still want to continue streaming. But I can't figure out how to restream to YouTube and all of them at the same time. So that's why I have not been doing it. But here's the thing about all of them. It's hard to search for topics. On YouTube, you can search for topics. How to fix your car. How to fix a wallet. You can search for Bitcoin. You can search for whatever. You can search by topics. And it's a great search engine and it lets you know. Twitch and DLive, on the other hand, you can't search for topics. You're searching for like channels. Like categories of channels and channel names. So if you're doing a Bitcoin show, no one could ever find that show unless you have a large audience. So that's what sucks. And Theta seems to be the same way. So I'm just going to search for Bitcoin right now. See, this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't search for any Bitcoin streams that's going on right now. It's searching for people that have Bitcoin in their name. Right? So it doesn't help grow channels. So I don't even know how people like on Twitch and stuff, they really grow. Well, I kind of do. It's because they're streaming and people just come onto the page and you could see who's streaming and you're like, oh, this guy's cool, and you follow it. But you can't search for it. I don't know why there's no YouTube competitors. Why these streaming sites, even though they're dominantly for games, but you can make it for other things. Why can't you just make it so that you can search for a title? What is so difficult about that? You can make that happen. This is why there's no competition to YouTube. It's because no one allows searching of titles or topics. You can only search for names. But anyways, that's what I'm frustrated by. That's why there is no competition for YouTube. But anyways, it looks like this is a good platform. But, in terms of how this is doing against, say, Twitch and others, doesn't see, or even DLive, seems like DLive has more traction right now than Theta. But it's good to see that there are people on here. 25 views, 18 views. What is the top viewed streamer right now? 109. Playing Destiny 2. It's kind of crazy. Like when I was on Twitch and I look at the top streamers. Oh, here's CZ. These guys get 500,000 streams, or something like that. It's crazy how many people tune in to some of the streams on Twitch. It's crazy. Anyways, you can search for topics on Twitch. There's also tags where you can categorize your stream and find streams. Okay, but why is it I'm in search and I type Bitcoin and it doesn't find any videos that relate to Bitcoin? It only finds channel names. What is it, a hashtag? Do I do a hashtag Bitcoin? No. So how do you search? Well, how do you search what you're saying? Where do you search tags? See, that's the problem with all these. The problem with every streaming place is you can't search for it. You can't search for topics. Unfortunate. But as for a token itself, right? Theta was their dual token setup, T-Fuel, and then also the Theta token. I think they're doing good. I talked about Theta for a while now. They have some light partnerships with Samsung and also what's their other partnership? I forgot who it was. No, I guess not. I thought they had another big part. Yeah, Google. Google became an enterprise validator. Although I don't know if it's really Google that agreed to this, or Theta just put a validator on Google Cloud. So it's a little bit different. But what attracted me to Theta before was their original advisors, which are big guys. Guys who created Twitch and guys who created YouTube. They're advisors for Theta. So that's very, very impressive. Now, how much input did they have into the project? I don't know, but that's what originally drew me to this project. All right, I think this should end this getting a little long. Alex, it's not ways that YouTube finds to destroy competition. Well, first of all, YouTube monetization, for good or for bad, because the scam ads, right? YouTube pays the creators the most, by far. It's not even close. But that's because they have the market share. But then the second thing is, the biggest thing and why there's no YouTube competitor, which is what I've been saying, you can't search on these other platforms. You just can't. It doesn't come out. So, I mean, I don't know why someone like Twitch doesn't change it. So, this is Twitch. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Right? What is it finding? It's finding people that are streaming currently. 2 viewers, 1 viewer. You know, when I was on their Twitch, I have maybe 100. But you don't see any like past videos, any topics about Bitcoin. It's mostly just channel names. Right? And there's a few categories, but outside of that, you don't really search. It's not really the same as YouTube, where you see like very cleaned out, laid out videos that have Bitcoin not only in the title, but in the description. You know, it's more like a search engine, where these are search engines for channels, just like Theta, just like DLive. So it's kind of frustrating. Anyways, I've been streaming for about an hour now, so I'll let you guys go. But today was a good day, good streaming day. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Over 300 people, close to 400 people, and that's because you guys are probably feeling pretty good about Bitcoin, right? Even though it's not at 11.9 like a few days ago, we're still holding above 11,000. Things are looking pretty good, and the main topic for today is, of course, massive liquidity that is coming from in 2021, and possibly the second half of this, not the second half, the latter half of this year. You know, things are looking good for Bitcoin. This is definitely a good time to be a holder. Now, for altcoins, still good. I'm a little surprised by how strong altcoins are. Not everyone, but some of them are actually doing very well holding against Bitcoin. But we'll see if that lasts, right? Obviously, in 2021, when there's massive liquidity coming in, it's going to help everyone. And that's when altcoin season really happens, and Bitcoin season comes, and every season comes. So we're waiting for that. But in the meantime, things are looking pretty good. And the fear and greed index is very, very greedy right now. All right? So, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, if you like basketball and like basketball cards, follow me on my new channel. I'm going to be spending some time on there as well. But, of course, I'm still right now trying to get the favor of the YouTube algorithm on this channel. So I'm posting a lot of videos, basically one every single day, short videos that's to the point. They're good, so make sure you check it out. Make sure you actually watch it. It helps me and helps to hit the like button. And as an experiment, I mentioned I pinned this to the very first comment of this video, my other channel called Bitcoin George, and we'll post videos on there too. And I'm going to see if I can gain a favor of the algorithm on this channel. It's just an experiment. I want to see if it can grow. If it can, great. If it can't, I'm just going to let it die off. So just to let you guys know. But if you want to support me, make sure you follow me on there and watch my videos on there as well. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned to my upcoming videos. I'll try to put one tomorrow on Saturday and one on Sunday as well. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.